So, I don't have any video game stuff to talk about this week because I'm a shit YouTuber. So, I'm going to tell you a story. All right, so this is a football story, and I think it's just the greatest football story ever told. So, let's get this started. So, we're going to kind of go like way, way, way back in the past here. Like, I don't know, what, 25, almost 30 years now, way back into the past. Back when I was still playing high school football, right? Uh, Full disclaimer, I was way too small, not strong enough, all the things I had no business playing high school football, but somehow I managed to do it and get through it and survive. We'll just throw that caveat in there right now, right? But hey, I was fast, I was quick, so somehow that was enough to get me in there, and the coaches actually let me play, right? At least defense. I couldn't play offense, I fumbled the ball too much, right? So, again, too small, no business being in there, but good enough to play cornerback, essentially, right? But that's kind of the background to this story. Okay. But so we're going through the year. We're having actually an okay year. The year before was awful. We weren't winning any games. It was really bad. But things had kind of turned around. My second year at the new high school. I'm gonna try to keep this generic, so I don't want to get too into detail, right? But we're actually having a decent year. Things are going along well. It's my senior year, right? And we're about to have our senior year football game. And if you've ever gone to any high school football game, college football game, whatever, the last home game of the year, it's like the last two raw for the seniors. They always have a big hubbub. They your parents come out and everybody celebrates. Hey, the 4 years that the seniors had at school. I only had 2 years there, but that's by the by. I went to a lot of high schools growing up. It's kind of crazy because you only go to high school for 4 years, but oh well. That's a whole nother story. Um, but as here's the deal, I was a little nervous about this, right? Because I'd always kind of played sports growing up, right? Because I'm fast, I'm quick, and that just had that natural talent going for me. That's about it. But even growing up, I mean, very rarely did I want people actually coming to watch the games. We got to start this off right there. It was my own thing. I wanted to do it all by myself. I didn't want somebody up in there watching, screaming, yelling, right? I'm kind of focused and this is what I'm doing and this is all I'm concentrating on at the time, right? I'm just very, very into what I was doing, and even if they wanted to distract me, they couldn't. It wouldn't matter if they're there or not. I just don't care, right? So, I mean, I know my aunt came to watch a couple of my soccer games. Every once in a while, somebody show up to like a track and field event or something, right? But for the most part, it's just me and my sport. Um, and even at the new school, playing football, my mom had never been to see me play football ever. I'm trying to think if she even watched one of my soccer games or not. Maybe one or two, to tell you the truth. I can't remember because again, I'm just focused, but I just kind of that's why I want to tell this story because this is something that I distinctly remember, right? Man, this is gonna be a hard story to tell. Just because growing up super poor. Like I don't even want to talk about how poor I was. It's more poor than the poorest person you ever knew growing up. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Extremely poor. And my mom worked nights at the nursing home as like a nursing aide. And she worked every Friday night. There's no getting around it. If it's a Friday night, she was working. Well, you play high school football on Friday nights. So that's that. It's just reality. That's life. Even if because like I never pressured her like, hey, I want you to be there because I never really wanted anybody there, right? It's me, my sport. I'm playing my game. I'm kind of selfish that way in the end, right? It's really just me doing my thing, and if you want to show up, that's fine, but it's not going to make a difference to me. Of course, senior night was a little different because that's the night that your parents are there in the field, you get introduced together, and everybody claps and all that good stuff. I didn't even know if my mom was going to be able to make it, right? But somehow that night, she begged and she got off work and she was there, and it was kind of a surprise to me, right? I just thought it was gonna be my stepdad there. But she was there and she showed up. And just another funny story, they didn't even have enough money for tickets to get into the game. So my dad's just like, hey, uh, don't want to say my name, so and so's a stepson, and he's playing the game, so you need to let us in because we're supposed to be there. They let him in. It's easy breezy, right? In the end, but they they couldn't even buy tickets. It's kind of a, again, poorer than the poorest person you knew growing up. That's where we're at. The baseline there. Um, but lo and behold, it's a surprise to me. They're there, out on the fields, and it was kind of a special moment, right? You know, call my name, and then everybody cheers, and mom and dad are all happy and everything. And then the game's gonna have to start. So all the parents leave. They go up into the stands. Then we just start playing the game, right? It's, to me, just a normal football game out there. I was pretty much a shutdown corner, but I was pretty good at run support as well. And we're just going through playing the game. And then I just remembered there's this is kind of where this whole story comes together. This is really all this story is about. All these words and everything, this is really the only thing that matters in this whole story. So, I don't know the down and distance, don't know anything. I just remember the play, right? And strangely enough, my mom actually remembers this play, right? It's. I remember she talked about it forever and ever and ever. Even it just anytime we got together, she'd like to talk about this because it was a sweet play, and they ran it to the right because I was always on the left side. So they ran it to the right. The quarterback pitched the ball, right? Linebacker does his thing. He drives in, blows up the play, right? I think it took a couple of blockers for him, and there was only the one blocker on the outside for me, and I had force. I don't know exactly what happened. The guy should have just blocked me straight up because I was gonna have to keep my outside arm free, right? But for some reason, he decided to try to go low on my legs, and I just very simply dove over the top of him, and it was just a perfectly timed play. I dove, jumped over the top of him, and tackled the guy by the legs. Right? It was just kind of actually an unbelievable play because, full disclosure, I'm like 5'6", right? Back then I was probably 140 pounds soaking wet, right? Again, no business being out there, but the guy tried to go on me. I just jumped over the top of him and made the tackle behind the line of scrimmage. It was a good play. I'm gonna admit, it was a really good play, and I don't know why, right? Because the game had been going on for a while, and I'd done things here or there, a little bit whenever I had a chance. But that particular play, I decided to look up into the stands, right? So I get up and I look up in the stands, and there's my mom. She's all of 5 foot tall, right, at the very most. So she's the one who blessed me with my great height and muscular prowess, right? But I look up into the stands, and there's my own mom with her arms raised up in the air, right, getting pats on the back, everybody cheering. And probably for the first time in her whole life, she was the hero, right? And that's why this is the greatest football story ever told. Well, that's it for today, right? Later's all. Take care.